facade is exposed to more or less fluctuating climatic conditions for years. Extreme cold, but also the effects of heat, put a strain on the materials used. The state-mandated insulation doesn't make things any easier either, and new problems arose with the moisture in the trades. Reason enough to think about what options builders and architects still have when designing the facade. The textile facade was created by reflecting on nature. Erroneously, however, the Reichstag cladding with Cristo gives the wrong impression of a textile facade. This artistic achievement was only suitable for short-term use, since normal fabrics are not designed for long-term exposure to the weather. With a textile facade, you give a building a breathable cladding whose properties offer many advantages that cannot be achieved with alternative facades. The textile facade creates an air cushion between the building and the fabric. In this way, it is possible to use the thermal properties of the air for air conditioning of the building while at the same time removing moisture. Specially developed high-tech fabrics also allow large building complexes to be clad with them. However, suction and wind loads require a fastening technique that prevents the textile facade from being destroyed by wind and hurricane gusts. Therefore, the way in which the fabric is attached to the building is even more important than the fabric itself. Enormous forces act on a textile facade due to wind and suction loads. So that these forces can be mastered statically, the fabric is stretched at the top and bottom and on both vertical sides in such a way that the fabric does not swing up under the influence of wind, otherwise the forces that occur would damage the facade. In order for these advantages of a textile facade to be successful, a few important points should be observed. Think for a moment why in southern countries the best climate is found only in houses with narrow streets and not in buildings with a large square in front of them. The narrow alleys create thermals and shade. A large space generates stagnant heat. Applied to textile facades, it quickly becomes clear why textile facades have unique advantages. The narrow alley is the air cushion between the structure and the fabric. With a textile facade you have a natural air conditioning system, without using any energy at all. The summer heat forces a strong thermal air movement behind the fabric from bottom to top. In winter there is little air movement behind it, but icy winds are kept out and the cooling of the building is reduced. The temperature differences of the building substance behind a textile facade are considerably smaller in range. This further reduces the aging process. The worldwide success of textile facades has not gone unnoticed by the textile industry. At the beginning the selection of the available fabrics in terms of type and color was still modest. In the meantime, however, a lot has changed. The variety of fabrics as well as the available color shades have meanwhile been greatly expanded. There are roughly two groups of fabrics suitable for textile facades, which differ in terms of durability and properties, but also in terms of price. The choice is greatest for PVC fabrics. These have a shelf life of approximately 15 years and meet the B1 fire protection regulations. They are inexpensive. The PTFE fabrics, which are considerably better in terms of durability, have a shelf life of around 20 to 25 years. However, the type of fabric and color selection is still limited here. However, these fabrics meet the fire protection requirements A2 and can be used in critical buildings such as hospitals and airports.